John Bolton's my guest, former U.S. ambassador to the UN and a Fox News contributor. Mr. Ambassador, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Is this the right decision?
It's the right decision to use force, not yet for the right objective and with a very confused command structure. I think that removing Gaddafi is in America's national interest. I certainly feel for the civilians in Libya, but our main objective should be ensuring that Gaddafi is removed from power so that he does not return to international terrorism and does not return to his nuclear weapons program. President Obama hasn't apparently figured that out yet, but perhaps he might yet come to that conclusion.
Well, we were told over the past 2 weeks that Gaddafi was on the verge of slaughtering his own people, especially in the town of Benghazi. Now, does he have a record of killing his own people, or was he simply going after the rebel fighters in which he was engaged currently in a civil war?
Well, he was engaged in a civil war. Look, he's an eccentric dictator. There's nothing good you say about him, but America doesn't have an interest in interfering in every civil war around the world. Gaddafi himself, however, is a different case because of his support for terrorism in the past, his nuclear and chemical weapons programs. He does constitute a threat to us and our friends and allies. That's why I think it was right to use force. Frankly, we should have done this a month ago when a prompt, decisive intervention then could have tipped the balance. This thing could be over by now.
But it was said in March, no, I guess it was December of 2003, he was ready to give up his WMDs. Well, we sent people to Libya to make sure that happened.
And I participated in it, knowing everything that we know now. I would do it again. Imagine how bad it would be if he had nuclear weapons today. But that was never intended as a get-out-of-jail-free card in perpetuity for Colonel Gaddafi. And I think when he began to engage in the kind of activity we've seen over the past month, there was little doubt, once the president said he had to be removed, that we had to be prepared to back those words up with actions.
We are told the responsibilities on behalf of the U.S. military will be handed over in short order, perhaps within a couple days, is what some people say or lead us to believe. Are the French, are the Brits, are the Italians ready to finish this war?
Well, with all due respect to all of our good friends and close NATO allies, the answer to that is no, and it's a big mistake for the Obama administration even to be thinking about this. It seems to be based on the idea that if the U.S. isn't in the lead role, the Arab world, the broader Muslim world, won't hold it against us. I think that's ridiculous. I think the Arab world, the Muslim world see exactly what we see. This is predominantly a U.S. operation. It should be predominantly a U.S. operation, and we should give credit to people for being able to understand exactly what's going on. I think it's patronizing and demeaning for the president to try and do this.
What is confounding is that the Arab League backed up ago. Now, Ammar Moussa, the head of the Arab League, has reservations in the past 24 hours, suggesting that the military actions already taken place has gone too far. Now, how do you figure that out?
Well, I think that's par for the course, and that's why the Obama administration was wrong to base its decision to use force, in part anyway, on the Arab League announcing it was in favor of the use of force. If we had just done what we should have done a month ago, the Arab League would have grumbled in public and in private would have said, you're doing the right thing. But the only difference now is that they're grumbling in public.
But even then, who takes over if Gaddafi's out?
Well, I think this is a rare situation, perhaps a unique situation, where whatever the new government turns out to be, it's not going to be as bad as Gaddafi. There are a few situations you can say that. I think there's a real risk here. I'm not looking for a Jeffersonian democracy to spring up. I'll be happy with a regime that's simply sullenly anti-American.
All right. Until then, we await. Mr. Ambassador, thank you. We will be in contact throughout the week, okay? John Bolton,
Thank you very much.
All right. Martha.